So whether you are looking to buy or sell a vehicle, there's only one name, and that is going to spring to your mind instantly. That, of course, is AutoTrader. It's no surprise because the trusted used car platform has been around for 33 years. Crazy, I know. Making it a household name, not only for enthusiasts out there, but for everyday motorists as well. Joining me in studio is the man at the helm, AutoTrader CEO George Mienie. George, I haven't been in this seat for 5 years, but I haven't seen you for probably 7 years. I think the last time you and I had a good banter, we were driving in a Maserati talking about AutoTrader then.
That was about 2017, and
Crazy.
always nice to be with you, Marius.
Back then, I remember when we spoke, you had just made the very, very big call to move from print, here's the magazine, let me page through, to going online. I guess now we can have a chat about whether that was the right thing to do.
It was absolutely the right thing to do, but there's a famous line that says it's a 20-year overnight success, which is effectively AutoTrader. I mean, yes, we took that decision in 2017, but it was a decade in the making.
Yeah.
We saw the trend coming 10 years before, and took the decision in 2017 to shed ourselves of that stone. That thing was dragging the company down.
Sure, you're there to facilitate the buying and selling of cars, but I think that shift to online has put you in a very different position now, where it's actually the access to information that you now have, because I don't think anybody else can match the data pool that you have.
Spot on. So, the buying and selling transaction as a result of the advent of the internet has diverged. Traditionally, you would, as a consumer, go into a dealership, trade your car in. There was no real places to sell a car. That's diverged, and it's decoupled itself from the purchasing journey. And since 2017, we've seen that divergence happen. Number one. And number two, we've become more of a data company than we are an advertising platform. So we're a data company that supports being a marketplace and a place for consumers to come and, first of all, buy a vehicle, but also sell their vehicle. Yeah. That has caused this hordes and mountains of data that we sit on. To give you an example, AutoTrader sees approximately 23 searches per second on the platform.
It's mad. I mean, imagine, you could never in the old days quantify that when it was print. So 23 searches or people online per second. What does that look like as a total number? So how many end users are there that use the portal?
So we fortunately get about 12 million visits a month, opening approximately 80 odd million pages a month. So you can see the scale of that in relation to the platform itself across approximately 90,000 vehicles. So it's not only 90,000 vehicles, because we touch about 130,000 vehicles a month.
What do you do with that information? Because that ultimately has value. You and I were chatting off camera now as well. I know there's been a lot of talk for a while about why doesn't AutoTrader just buy and sell cars themselves? I mean, you could do that.
Yeah, so basically, if we had to begin buying and selling vehicles, we would compete with the very customer that provides us with the vehicles for sale. So not a very good idea. And I suppose AutoTrader could do it. But it would make for the plummeting of the volumes of vehicles that we have on our platform, number one. And then number two, 130,000 vehicles available for sale. I don't think there's any one player that could ever get to that kind of scale. So we've been able to get to scale because we're the marketplace in the middle of the transaction. Yeah. And unless you're a marketplace in the middle of the transaction that doesn't own the asset on the buying or the selling side, you can touch every vehicle in the market. So if you're a car dealership or a car dealer group, or the biggest ones out there that sit on 5, 6, 7, even 12, 13, 14,000 vehicles, you're only 1/10.
Yeah.
If you think about it, 10% of the number of vehicles in the market, and a very small proportion of consumers searching for those vehicles. So your ability to put scale to those numbers and then to say that this is representative of the industry is a little bit small to do. At our scale, we're able to say that. We're able to say we're representative of the market. We're representative of consumer trends. We're representative of demand, supply, and price, because we play in all three of those environments.
I mean, that changes for the dealer their showroom.
Exactly.
In terms of what are they buying. And I suppose, I mean, we're sitting in a space at the moment where new cars are so expensive, and the second-hand car market has been really bullish because there's a real demand for it. But I think if it's specifically coming down to this is what is trending well, this is what I think is going to track, I mean, it's sport betting in a way.
Well, it's down to what we call listing level analytics.
Yeah.
Whereas previously a dealership would have a dealership strategy. They would apply the same margin to every vehicle. So they'd buy a car for 100,000 Rand, they'd put a 10% markup, 15% markup on that vehicle, sell it for 115,000 Rand, and they would apply that across 100 vehicles. Now the predictive analytics can be down to listing level. So right down to that particular vehicle and how that vehicle should be priced, how that vehicle should be shown online, how that vehicle should be sold, or whether I should get rid of it, or even price it up.
So are you able to then do that also for the customer? Are you able to educate the end user, me, in terms of that process as well?
It's a very good question, Marius, because our strategy has always been give the dealer the tools, let the supply side sort themselves out and be able to operate effective, successful businesses, and then bring that transparency to the consumer. So yes, as time goes by, we are bringing a lot of those transparency elements that the dealer already has to the consumer in smart ways, so that both the buying and the selling side of the market work effectively together. You can't give the consumer side that level of transparency until you've allowed the dealer or the seller the transparency in order to get their act together, and in order for them to price vehicles and to buy stock in an effective way, because then you're creating a real powerful market. And we see transparency in three ways. Listings transparency. So as time goes on, we'll give consumers more and more transparency around the vehicle itself, besides just the specs. What is the history of this car?
Yeah.
What is the history of its demand and supply? What is the history of its price? Then dealership transparency. We've just launched ratings and reviews, which is almost like your Trustpilot, Hello Peter type functionality, where we want to give the consumer transparency around who am I buying from. Because quite often you buy a product, but you don't really buy the product, you buy who you're buying the product from. So we're creating dealership transparency, and then pricing transparency. We've launched price ratings about 2 years ago, which went really, really well. And we give the consumer transparency around whether that vehicle is priced right or not.
I mean, that's what I always do. If mates ask me, what should I sell this car for? Go and have a look at AutoTrader. Because if you do that, you'll get an idea, mileage, spec, the way it's laid out. It's very, very clear to me as an end user. George, I mean, 8 minutes gone. I knew it would. Very lucky having you on Ignition GT again.